Okay, this is a close-up of that river I keep showing you from a distance. This is the Columbia River. That over there is where the marina is. I like to come out here and look at some of the boats out here. Wraps around a little bit. A lady come around the corner just about 5 minutes ago. She stepped right to about right there, and then she looked at me and she turned around and went the other way. I don't know if I got like something hanging off my forehead or what. Or maybe she just scared of people with beard nose. But yeah, that piece of shell that I found, well, I guess it's not technically shale. It does kind of look like a raptor claw though, don't it? Maybe one that got broke off a little at the tip. In reality though, it's just a rock. Obviously. Just depends on the angle you're looking at it from. There's another rock over here that's pretty interesting. Personally, I like coming out here and looking at the boats. But the boats aren't the only cool thing about this area. Right here, we've got a rock, and in the center of it, it's kind of a heart. But that's actually iron ferrite. It's iron. I guess there's a lot of puns that I could make, but we'll just enjoy the rock for right now. But yeah, it's a nice area. Like I said, the people are pretty nice. The river here doesn't smell real bad like Chapel Lake does. You know, just because people talk nice doesn't mean that they have your best interest at heart. It doesn't mean that they have good intent. That doesn't mean that they have bad intent necessarily, but a lot of that, like they say, is subject to perspective. Kind of like the guy who gets drunk and does whatever he wants to you, and afterwards, from his perspective, it's not his fault because he was drunk. From your perspective, you're never going to be able to get that out of your head. A lot of people have used that he was drunk thing to make excuses for a lot of the people who were predatory towards me. Oh, well, he was probably drunk. Does that make it okay? No, absolutely it does not. Did people ever actually stop to look at the evidence? No, they didn't. All the people that I knew in person before Natalie died, both before and after, trying to get them to look at evidence was like trying to pull their teeth. Mandy Singer finally did. Thank goodness for her. She didn't get to see very much, but she got to see enough to realize I wasn't BSing. Well, that's another one of the issues. There is so much of it. These people are too lazy to actually look at it, too lazy to do their jobs. They go, you know, we'll just let his predators win. The problem is that letting my predators win allowed them to victimize many more people, including Zayd Atkinson, Michelle Rodriguez, Sammy Leon Lawrence IV. It's just not okay. I'm about saving lives, not taking them. Now, obviously, it's a pretty area. It's nice, well groomed. They got lots of little tourist stuff around here to let you know you're welcome for being here. I mean, they do this stuff around Boulder all the time, making pretty public areas. Of course, that's not quite as pretty, is it? And of course, I prefer looking at it from some of them hills over there, because when you're looking down across it, you see that mound right there. It's right in the way. So you don't see any of the houses. You don't see the bridge. You don't see none of this. It just looks like nature. It's weird. But you get down here closer to the closer to the water, you get to see a bunch of stuff all the way around. Same thing over here. Up here, it's a little higher up, you know. Over there's some stuff on top of the mountain, like power lines and stuff that are easily visible from here. So, I mean, it doesn't stay pretty. Oh, we are getting lucky, folks. There's a boat coming out, and I'm not talking about the little one. All right, it is pretty slow going. Isn't that cool looking? Anyway, these folks keep saying they're gonna, not showing up, not calling back. They've got my number. They've got my number written down probably 300 times by now. Not literally, but at least 5 or 6 times they've written it down. So, I guess I'm gonna end this video and get back to the things that I need to get finished with. It's never finished. I mean, these situations show up faster than I can take care of one. I'm still having to deal with situations that happened before Natalie died. That's one of the things with them making it so incredibly complicated. You know, it'd be easy for you to just tell the truth. It'd be pretty easy. It'd be easy to admit you screwed up. Go back and look through my videos. I screw up a lot. I also admit when I screw up. I take the blame for my stuff. I'm not going to take the blame for yours. I shouldn't have to. Y'all tell me about being a man. Are you being a man by those standards? You say, grow up. Are you growing up by those standards? Are you judging yourself in the same way that you're judging me? Are you expecting the same things from me that you expect from yourself? Are you taking into account your inability to do something, but not taking into account whether or not I'm able to? I need people to teach me how to do stuff, not tell me to do stuff that I've been trying and failing. On the bright side, despite the fact I keep failing, I do still keep trying. See if I can throw this rock without hurting myself. Oh my god, no, and it didn't skip either. Oh my god. Alright, well, y'all be safe. There's been no callback, no contact, no nothing. I don't get it. Maybe if it was a little bit easier to hear people on the phone when I'm outside, maybe if I had an indoor place to actually sit down and work on it and not be messed with, not have to worry about my predators. The problem is, when your predators have badges, you have to be worried 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They can trump up anything that they want. Now, whether or not the officers here have malicious intent, they did screw up. I prefer they just admitted they screwed up and then they can work with me. Makes it a lot easier to trust somebody who's willing to admit that they screwed up when they screwed up. That way you can fix the problem and continue with finding a solution immediately. Whereas 6, 8, 12 months of blaming people, blaming each other, having to go through courts to take care of that, no, that's not a grown-up or adult way to do it. If you're having to go through the courts, then either one or both parties are not being adult about it. Y'all keep telling me to be a man. You know what? I'm the only one being honest. So, you can go ahead and talk all you want about being a man. When you guys can figure out, as a society, as a whole, what it is that a man should or should not be, instead of changing your mind every 3 weeks and posting up another meme about it, then we can have a discussion. Now we gotta, at the moment, rather than worrying about shit like that, we need to focus on things that we can do something about. And a lot of these people, they want to tell me that there's nothing that they can do. They're not going to take it seriously. That's the thing, is if they took the situation seriously, there are a lot of things that they can do legally. And they're supposed to do legally. The problem is when they want to pretend you're an idiot, pretend like you're schizophrenic, pretend like you're a druggie, and they want to ignore you altogether. They know that the longer they drag it out, the more screwed you are. Most of the time I can barely function well enough to even speak on my phone, let alone all of the crap that I gotta do on the internet, let alone all of the crap that I gotta learn how to do on the internet. A lot of people wanted to yell and scream and shout and throw me away like I was garbage because I was incapable of doing what they wanted me to do. They didn't hear what was going on, wouldn't listen to what was going on. They just wanted to give advice. When somebody is being victimized and they come to you, you need to listen to them. You need to know what's going on. Why are they coming to you? How many of those people before or after Natalie Bollinger was killed, how many of those people can tell you what it is that I came to them for help with? Despite the fact that it's recorded repeatedly me saying it. Recorded repeatedly me typing it. Over and over and over again. Meanwhile, instead of having a family member who actually gives a shit and helping me from the start and sticking with me through all of it, I had to work with a bunch of weekend warriors who were mostly drug dealers and alcoholics and drug addicts and crooked ass cops. I don't know what makes y'all think that the Boulder Police Department was going to try to help me out with anything. A lot of people wanted to keep on saying you need to go to the police about it. I did go to the police about it repeatedly. That's the point. Police didn't want to do their jobs, and innocent people died. Now they can go ahead and scapegoat whoever they want, but the fact is, just because Joseph Michael Lopez is the one who's sitting in prison for shooting Natalie in the head, doesn't make him ultimately responsible. Natalie Bollinger was bullied to death. And all of the people that bullied her to death can have charges pressed against them and they can spend time in prison. I'm an exemption. Do you know why? Because I wasn't trying to bully her. I was trying to get the abuse to stop. I was the one stalked. I was the one being harassed. I was the one being threatened. I was the one being assaulted. I was the one who actually had my family and my friends' lives threatened. So all of this BS, they keep trying to blame me for all of the things that Natalie and her friends did. They want to pretend like because Natalie didn't tell the truth that it must magically be true. Her sister can verify that Natalie fucking lied. The problem is they did everything that they could to try to prevent me from getting a court date. That includes the police everywhere I went, and it also includes my supposed friends. Many of them are drug addicts. Most of them are addicted to methamphetamines. And, that's not a life that I want to have a part of. It's not a life I've ever taken a part of. It's not a life that I wish on anybody. I don't stop caring about them just because they're on meth. But also, there's the fact that one of my predators, Matty Boa, also just happens to be a meth dealer. So, whose side do you think they're going to take? Who do you think they're going to listen to? And besides that, Matty Boa and that whole crew get to actually be there. I don't get to be there to defend myself. I'm not allowed to defend myself. I'm not allowed to defend myself in court. I'm not allowed to defend myself on the streets. I'm also not capable two very important things that these guys all want to ignore. I cannot defend myself against this abuse. Because rather than following the laws when it comes to disabled people, they want to ignore the laws and abuse disabled people. You just want to assume that by calling someone mentally ill that they must be guilty. They must be the bad guy. Just because you said it, it must be true.